Good morning and welcome to the Lioness Den. We're the Connors. And today we're going to be talking about marriage. We're going to be talking with an awesome couple, the Taylors, Tracy and Andre. And we have a great show in store for you. So stay tuned. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Lioness Den. Again, this is Dina and James Connor, and we're hosting today. Thank you, Lydia Chapman, for the opportunity. Today, we have an opportunity to talk about marriage, and we're going to talk about it with some of our best friends. In fact, they're going to be joining us momentarily, Andre and Tracy Taylor. They happen to be my blood family. Tracy is my younger sister. Andre is my brother in love, and I love them. I appreciate them, and I'm excited to talk to you guys. How you guys doing today?
We are
I'm good.
well. How are
Yes.
you all? You good to go?
Doing
We're
good.
excited about this.
Little stressful morning, but we
Hey,
okay.
hey, hey, that's personal business.
But we okay, you know.
All right,
I'm
all
good.
right.
Wow. So look, you guys are like the vets in this thing. You guys have been married now for 22 years.
This year, December 1st will be
Mm-hmm.
22.
22.
22 years. Woo, woo, woo. Y'all real legal, real legal.
Yes.
So,
Right.
And we
so
still
look, we had kids that are not that old yet. That is amazing. Now, we may be older than you chronologically, but you all are more mature in this marriage thing than us. We're about to come up on our fifth.
whoop,
So
whoop.
we are excited to always pick your brain and talk to you. And one of the greatest things that we do with you guys regularly is Marriage 101.
Yeah.
So we sit and we chat with you all and talk about different things that make a marriage and build a marriage.
Hmm.
I have so many questions for you all, but I know a lot about you. So one of the things that I want to ask is, well, first of all, introduce yourself to the people. Let's not jump ahead. Introduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you are.
Well, I'm Andre Taylor. Yeah, I am husband, father of three, pastor of a wonderful church, the Outlet Church, uh, artist,
Yeah.
lover of my wife. I like to keep throwing that in and out of there in those parts. Yeah, that's who I am. Yeah.
And I'm Tracy. I am myself first, and and then
Amen.
I'm his wife, and then I'm the mama. And professionally, I'm a director of operations for a nonprofit, a Christian organization, Regeneration Ministries, and I assist in the ministry however the Lord calls me from day to day. And so that's who I am. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. That's awesome. You guys are amazing. How did you know at such a young age? I won't put your numbers out there, but at such a
Thank
young age
you.
that that you were ready for marriage, that you really, because
Ooh.
that's such a big step. How did
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm. Is that ready? Did you know that you were ready for marriage? How did you know you wanted to? Or how did you know when you wanted
Okay,
to?
so that route. How
I
did you
don't
know
know
you
that we were
wanted to
old
get
enough to
married?
conceive ready.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I'll almost say it. After a couple years in marriage, I realized we were ready, not before.
Yeah.
Um, I would say this. I think I told the story before. A friend of mine, it was like, yeah, we were young, and they were like, "Why are you getting married? Like, bro, you got your life. Like, you young. Like, why are you getting married?"
Hmm.
And I just responded, if you meet a person, if you meet someone that awesome, you meet, why would you want to waste the rest of your time not with them? If you meet somebody awesome, you want to spend every moment you can with them. So it's kind of
Hmm.
like, how soon can I get married?
Right.
It was kind of that aspect. So as far as ready for marriage, uh, I don't know.
I think that
Yeah.
we've learned that after the fact since maturing. For me, it was more of a spiritual matter. I really, when I met him, I felt like I knew him. And so there was something that resonated almost immediately with him. And I've experienced that with friendships across the time of my life where you see a person and I just get that sense like, oh, this is one of my people. So I felt that. But when it came time to actually like pull the trigger, like I had spiritual respect. Like I prayed, I fasted. I was like, Lord, I don't I don't want to botch this up. I've watched my parents be married for the length of my life, and I really knew that that's what I wanted for my life. And I just felt really sure that this was the guy. And I just saw him in a way that I don't think other people really acknowledged or saw him. I saw that he was brilliant. I saw it was special. He just stood out. And it was very clear very early on that this is what I wanted to do. So we did it.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. Ready. Yeah. Yeah. I would say, I think it was like ready. I was ready to, it sounds crazy now, but like I was ready to not be without her in that sense. But I think once my life changed, just my life with Christ, that's when I really knew, because I knew I really liked her, loved her. But when my life changed in that way, I think I was like, I'm ready to commit to her. So I think I'm ready. I didn't know what it all entailed. I knew it would be more because I didn't grow up always seeing it. I had some examples in my life, but I just knew that I was ready to do whatever to stay with her. So yeah, it was, yeah.
It was risky business. I don't know what to tell you.
That was a question, like when you know you were ready. I was like, ooh.
It was,
yeah.
We took a leap, and there were a lot of people concerned, because we were so young. But thank God he's been faithful.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I have to admit, when you all first mentioned it, I was concerned, but to see you all together, it was like, okay, why shouldn't they?
Yeah.
And honestly, it was just an amazing thing to watch it from then until now and watch you all grow in love together and watch you all grow in friendship and in family. It's been beautiful. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm so grateful because it's been a great example to so many of us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Certainly. Yeah.
Oh, so now, even in the marriage, right?
Mhm.
Because I know like everything isn't all peaches and
Come on, tell the truth.
cream. So as far as like conflict resolution, now,
Mhm.
because I know there's times that you just like, look, I'm just not going to talk to this individual. This individual has made me upset. You know what I'm saying? And now you don't want to address them as wife or husband. You be like, this individual. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
therefore, you know what I'm saying. So therefore, it's like, how do you go about as far as resolving your conflict resolution?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. There's a
Clean.
yeah.
There you go.
Yes, come on, keep it above the waist.
Yeah.
So, I think for us in general, we try to really look from the perspective of tools. Like, if you don't have the right tools, you can't fix particular things. And I think that when we come to conflict resolution, there are some foundational things that we have to remember. And one of those things that I always think of primarily is that even if I'm really pissed with my husband, or if we're disagreeing, we're still on the same team. Bottom line, end of the day,
Yeah.
teammates fuss. You might not agree with people who are on the same team, but you're aiming for the same thing. And so at the end of the day, when I remember that he's my teammate, I remember to respect and value him as an equal. We're on the same team. We're trying to make something happen, but we see it differently because we come from different places and we're different people.
Right.
A lot of times when we're working with couples, we always remind them that conflict can really be good because you can have like this surface level relationship. But until you actually dig deeper into your differences and the issues that you're having, you kind of live in a status quo, little friendly little thing, but it's not real. We want the real stuff, and real growth comes from conflict and working through it. So that respect level, I think, for me is always where my mind is. This ain't your kid. This ain't your father. This is This is your spouse, this is your equal. So carry it from that place, Tracy. Come on, Tracy. Stay with it, Tracy. You on the same team. Come on, Tracy.
Yeah. You said it really, like, we use that analogy like team, because first off, with a team, you have to understand you have to have the same goal. Like, if everybody on the team doesn't have the same goal, that's when it gets out, because one person's trying to win, the other person's trying to get money or trying to get, and so it's different things. It's first, why are we? And so all conflict has to get filtered through. Why are we married? Like, we're married, we want to honor God, we're committed to each other. So now, once you route everything through there, it goes to what you said with the tools, because conflict, often people are caught off guard, like with conflict, like, and then we take it personal.
Yeah.
Conflict is inevitable. Every relationship, conflict will happen because people are different. You come from different backgrounds, different, just different everything. And so conflict, I just had this conversation with someone. I sent a message, but conflict is actually something that you should expect. It throws us off because we don't expect it. And most time in our life, especially we're adults, you kind of like, you ttry to set your life to, in a sense, default avoid mode, default mode, like, and so my way is my way, and so there's no conflict. You're just wrong. Like, no, there's your way and my way, and so now conflict is like a catalyst. So we use it, and so for us, we deal with it by one, like you said, is remaining respectful, understanding that we have the same goal, to have a healthy marriage, to respect each other, but understanding that we're not caught off guard. We expect conflict.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, when I bring this to you, you might not, I think, sometimes it's like,
you already know you're not going to like that.
You're not going to like that, or you're going to see it different. I think sometimes we do cheat ourselves, and we throw ourselves off because we expect our spouse to agree with everything. And that love is agreement. Like, you agree, that's love, or we're going to see it the same way.
That's a slippery slope.
I actually don't want you to, because if you see everything the exact same way as me, I never get a new perspective. That means I never get to grow. So we just take it a lot as, in conflict, as growth. Now we gave the better part of the answer.
Yeah, because I was about to say it's the other side.
Now the other side of it is using the things that we learned. Listen, the greatest marital tool you learned in probably kindergarten. Share. Keep your hands to yourself.
Be nice.
Be nice. And that's the thing. Nice. To yourself.
Go to the basics.
It's just, sometimes with conflict, we care more about the resolution of the conflict than we do our spouse.
Or even being right. You always have to check your motives in conflict, because, baby, if you like me and you like the win, then you got problems. And one of the things we've told people over time is, if I'm in a situation where I constantly have to make my husband lose a fight, then I married a loser. And it don't make sense, because I don't want to be married to a loser. So it's not fair for us to think that the resolution for conflict is always winning. That's foolish. It's immature. And marriage isn't for the foolish or the immature. It's for grown people who are ready to work through stuff for the benefit of the family, or both of us, And another key part is just communication. So often when we talk to people, we find out they have poor communication. They're holding feelings. They're not being fully honest. And it, of course, is a growth thing to be able to learn how to say what you need to say in the way that you need to say it, because stuff be coming out crazy, sometimes when you're upset. And so all of this is also a commitment to personal development. Where am I at? Am I hot-headed? I need to chill with that. I need to ask God to help me. Like, how do I fight? Like, am I ready? Like, am I always ready? Like, where am I at?
Right.
So if you look at yourself in the middle of a conflict, you might be able to learn something about yourself and ways to grow as well. But again, communication, maturity, staying on the same team.
Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk.
And one of the things that I want to add to that, one of the things that I've learned in the time that I've been with James, is that you have to remember that the person who is talking to you is on your team, that they're not out to get you, that they're not trying to hurt you, so that when they say things to you that you don't want to hear or you don't like, that they're not against you. It's necessary.
You have to remember who your person is.
Right. You do. You have to remember who your person is and what the source is of that. This is your friend. This
Yeah.
is your partner. This is your buddy.
Right. And you know what? And you know, also to add to that, you know, some people are more concerned with being right than actually being correct. And
Yes.
so, you know what I'm saying? So the thing about being correct is that it's like you're not looking for a thing of right. Like, look, being correct means you both want to walk together and you know, hey, you know what? This could be done this way. And you know what I'm saying? Correction is with love. Being
Mhm.
right is just saying, see, this is what I told you, this is what I told you, this is what I told you.
Mhm.
You know, the
Yes.
two just doesn't, you know what I'm saying? The two just don't go hand in
They
hand. You know what I'm
don't.
saying? I always tell people like, look,
They don't.
correct is the right way. Like being correct. You
Yeah.
know, when you're being correct, that means you're still being loving. When you're being right, you're being spiteful. It's just be
Mhm.
real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the two opposite pieces that we always have to consider again as mature grown people is you're either going to have pride or humility, right? That's the icing that
Mm-hmm.
really covers everything. The Bible says that, like, you can't have a fight, you can't have contention without pride. Somebody is
Mhm.
in there
Mhm.
in
Like
their
being
ego
prideful.
and their, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the reality is, if we're going to love, if we're going to actually like do the thing, is going to require humility, and humility for some people is really hard. Like, it really sucks because
Yeah.
to take the low road, to bow out, and not from the perspective of trying to be like the false humility thing where, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so lowly, and no, like, all right,
Mhm.
I really feel right, and I'm gonna have to pull that thing under. I'm gonna have to, hey girl, hey, reel it
Yeah,
in. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Exactly.
Humility is tough.
Yeah. This is crazy. And like you said, conflict resolution. We say conflict resolution. Yeah, resolution has nothing to do with winning and losing, but yet it comes up.
Resolve.
true.
How
Exactly.
do you
Facts.
resolve the conflict?
Yeah,
But be like, I'm trying to
I want to
win.
win it.
Well, you never resolve conflict winning because winning has no place in
Resolution,
resolution. When you come to a resolution, you come to a decision, you come to a place
agreement.
where agreement.
Yeah.
So there cannot be a winner and loser in it. And
Right,
oftentimes that is the core piece. I'm
Yes.
trying to win.
Win. Mhm.
right, right, right.
Mhm.
It's compromise and balance. Those are so important and so key
Yes.
in a marriage relationship. One of the things that I always talk about is partnership and how partnership is never always 50-50.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is 80-20. Sometimes it is 65-35. Sometimes it's never a perfect balance. It's always it's always someone is doing a little more in this area and someone is doing a little less. And but it's still you are still a partner. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter the percentage, but you, as long as you're giving 100% of you and 100% of me, that's when it works. That's when
Mhm.
it really becomes something beautiful.
Yes.
um
Absolutely.
I'm so thankful for this opportunity. I have questions about, I know we're talking about marriage, but I also want to talk about family just a little bit because with
Mhm.
with you all, you have three wonderful children that
Mhm.
live in your house that are all under the age of 18, that are all teenagers.
Yes.
So how do you balance that with work and ministry and art and everything else that you all do, because you all do so much? and and how do you, and the kids have their own activities and all of that? How
Mhm.
do you all balance that, because and still find time for marriage and still find time for each other?
Look, ask me in 5 years
How did
when
I?
I figured it
How do
out.
I?
Because right now it's a work in progress.
How do you stand in a tornado?
Listen, let me tell you something. Exactly. Like, the reality is, even though we've been married for as long as we have, we always let people know from a place of real humility that we are figuring it out. We don't
Mhm.
have all the answers, right? And so, really, like, for us, there are certain things that we try to implement that help us, like knowing schedules, using our calendar, like the actual practical things of, like, I look in this phone, and if somebody's thing is not in here, it's not real. It's not a real
Okay.
thing. It's not real. So, the kids are working, the kids have camp, we're working, we're doing all the different things. And so that level of organization has been a practical tool to help me. I am naturally carefree. not careless, carefree, blow with the wind wherever it takes me, but having a family and a job and ministry does not allow for that for me, in order to function in a way that I'm not an insane, crazy person, right?
Yeah.
So some of those practical things of just knowing who has to be where, what the priorities are, do we have coverage, all those kind of things are, some of the natural parts of it. But then also it's just knowing, like, with our kids and with our family, are we directing them to the Lord? Are we giving them what they need to become who God wants them to be? Perfect grades, perfect this, perfect that is not where we live. It's not realistic. Having expectation that is realistic for my children is based off of just knowing how difficult it is for us as grown people. You know what I mean?
Realistic.
Yeah. So having realistic expectation, knowing and training them in a way that they understand everything you ask me for is not going to be yes automatically. You know what I mean? Like setting proper expectation for what is the real priority is really super important.
Yeah, I was going to say fussing a lot, but that probably wouldn't be the right answer.
Dad is a professional fusser.
I mean,
and they feel like it's unfair because he don't never fuss at me.
That's my wife. I ain't fussing at, like, but we I think from the very beginning we also have established the priority of our marriage in a way that's not disrespectful but inviting. The kids have known from the young age, like, mom and dad are married, and out of our love you come. So what happens is our relationship, like, we don't say we're more important than you, but we have always prioritized our marriage. And we said it even when they didn't understand it. When mom and dad love each other stronger, your life is better.
Yes.
Our you is better. And so what we've done is, I mean, over the years we've learned to, like you say, realistic expectations, because there were seasons where you tried to keep up. When you have 3 kids, when you have just multiple kids and a life, certain things have to go. I had the desire to keep everything pristine. Like, my house needed to be like spot clean all the time. Everything needed to be, and I realized how much
that's not feasible.
It's just not feasible. It's not feasible. Like we no, your house can't be like dirty. Like, we'll clean it, but is it junky? At times it could be. You could come in
and have laundry all over the whole couch.
We fold it, and it's 5 people, so the laundry is folded. It's going to be moved, but at this moment we have somewhere to go. You have somewhere to be. It's going to sit there because nobody's coming in the house. Laundry is going to sit there, and the thing is, if you can come down and move it, that means you can move it to your room. So certain seasons are there that we had to allow that. Everybody is school. So while we have these priorities, okay, guys, we're going to do this and that. And then sometimes you have to say, hey, we have duties in the house, but we're going to go get some frozen yogurt, or we're going to get something because everybody's working, everybody's in school. These clothes or this thing is not more important than our relationship. So
yeah, peace is the overarching priority for our entire house. So if something's going to disturb the peace, we've kind of learned to not allow it. Like, laundry sitting on the couch is not going to disturb the peace. If we all need a moment, we going to get the froyo, and the laundry gonna be there.
You definitely got to get guided.
Because also the reality is we only have these kids for a certain amount of time. They're lent to us. We don't possess them. We don't own them. They're becoming who they're going to be. So we offer them, the guidance that we know that the Word of God wants us to. But at the end of the day, we're not going to hold them to some perfect standard. I feel like that was important for me, knowing that I was married to a pastor, like not allowing people to put expectations on my kids to be perfect or any of these other PK standards, because they ain't. Neither am I. We need the Lord every day. Lest Jesus wouldn't have died. So the reality is just knowing our priorities for our family, what things come in order, our relationship, understanding having them understand the importance of that, and keeping peace in our home. So those are high priorities for us. And then organization
and prioritizing time together, because that's the thing that was that part of your question. Like, do all of that because, one, we've always grown to do everything together, like not in a weird sense, like like a cult or something like that. You know what I mean? We ain't in there showering together, just
Stop.
but the thing
Third
is,
one.
it's just that like I don't just serve as a pastor, like, oh, me and my ministry, like our family serves together.
Yeah, we do.
Everything that we do, even we try within the business and any events and things that we do, we try to do it as a family, so that no one is ever separated. Like we all support it where we can. And so we
and
try
each
to
other. If you have a basketball game, we're coming. If
we try to do that, and then once we do that, it allows us to always stay as a family unit. But then also, as our kids have grown, I mean, we did when we were young. We take opportunities to go out. Hey, when it got to a certain age, sometimes the only time we had is okay, bedtime. Y'all in the bed at 8:30 or what have you, whatever it was. Probably around that time, we're going out for like an hour, like. Lock the door, Chloe. You're old enough. Like we're going out for an hour to like sometimes we go get a milkshake. I remember one time we went and got milkshakes. We just sitting on Route 40 in the parking lot. We went up to the Checkers.
Yes, we did, because everything was closed.
Everything was closed, so we get a milkshake and we sat in a parking lot.
We don't live nowhere near Route 40. Okay,
No.
We had to get
No, we on the other side.
out.
Took a drive.
And then we also go away. Like we plan trips. But every season for people is different. There are times we didn't have the money to do that. So going to Checkers and sitting in the parking lot and just looking at each other, and there's no kids screaming our names, was like the piece that we needed. And then in other seasons, you save a few dollars, you ride down, to the spa or wherever we gonna go, and take a minute.
That was good.
That was real good. Yeah, you gotta take some time. Yeah. We'll have to tell you about that offline.
Well, you can tell that you two not just love each other, but that you like each other. That as people, that you like each other. That's something that James and I found was very important in our marriage. Before we got married, we were the best of friends.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were to the point where we were telling each other, we were dating other people and telling each other about the dates and trying to get an idea of who these people were in our lives. And then here we go. Boop.
No, we don't like them.
I'm like, I don't like her for you. Nah.
I'd be like, oh, these two get together and we just go.
And it was so funny because it was our kids that were like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Why don't y'all get to? So it was really crazy because we didn't see it, but they saw it.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing thing. It's amazing to me what other people see of your marriage, what other people see of your family, and they see of your relationship, and it makes them want to get married. I can remember a time not wanting to get married, and then I was like, but they look like they having so much fun. So maybe. And now I'm having fun with this one.
Yeah, like, and it comes with both. It comes with the highs and the lows. We stuck, right? We're stuck together for life. No, we're not stuck. But the thing that you said that was so important is, I believe, like, what do they say? An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Yes.
So we do like to spend a lot of times with premarital sessions, really to help understand that foundational thing. If you don't have friendship, I'm trying to tell you,
it's hard.
It's really dusty out there. Okay. Like it's real, like the dustiest desert. Like it really is going to be ashy because I'm trying to tell you, when you think about your life and you think about friendship, those are the people you're more prone to forgive and be gracious with and try to work to understand. You know what I'm saying? And so when you foundationally understand the importance of being friends with somebody, that automatically comes with, yep, highs, lows, you're with me to the end, like you riding with me, like it is what, and so for people who are making business arrangements, like we should be together because it will cut our expenses or better tax outcomes because we have children. And like I'm trying to tell you, it just won't be what it's supposed. It's not the way to go, right? I'm just trying to tell you, just get a roommate and call it a day. If you really plan to be with somebody in the confines of what God calls marriage, I'm telling you, the friendship piece, you can't overlook. You cannot
Mhm.
you can't overstate the importance
Yeah.
of that piece, because I'm gonna need to like you. Yes, I have to
Yeah.
love you, right? But there are people who I don't like that I have to love because I
Yeah.
love the Lord, right? You know what I'm saying?
I don't
There are
want that to be
people
you.
I can think of right now. They not no, we not really super okay anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Real talk. Real
but
talk.
I am compelled by the love of God to love them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
However, to live with somebody day after day for 20 some odd years, you better like each other.
Yeah.
You
You
cannot
better.
overstate it.
Yeah.
I've even found that that's important with us because I've told James and I got married older. So I was like, look, we are on the decline with some things. So when we're no longer as active as we are now, when we don't have
Amen.
those things to hold us together, we have to be able to talk to one another and enjoy each other's company and make each other laugh. You got to be able to take care of me and I take care of you, you
Yes,
know, deal with
it's
my
important.
creaking knees and whatever goes on with you, and we have to really be able to laugh and love and enjoy each other's company because there's going to come a time when maybe that's all we have.
Yes,
So I,
yes,
I I went into the marriage with that mindset that
yes,
I did not want to marry somebody that I didn't like. Because
yes,
it's easy to love.
yeah,
It's easier to love somebody than it is to actually like
Yeah, because
somebody.
you could
yeah.
take your life
And the
back.
thing
And then
is,
like, get my life back.
You gonna give me your
I'm
like
saying,
that?
I'm taking that thumbs up.
give me that
Don't
back.
get my light
Give
back.
that
Right.
I
back.
think also
You
for
got it.
us, like the friendship aspect of being together through so much change, you
Hmm.
need friendship and you need grace. Because, baby, if I tell you what I look like, or if you saw a little picture of us when we first got together at, 22 years old, being a size whatever I was,
Hmm.
having, the figure and the shape and all the different things. And then to have children and to go through these changes and to
Right.
be processing all of it myself, but then to have somebody who just still loving up on me and like making me feel like I'm it, you know what I'm saying? That there's something in that type of love and friendship, and there's this grace that's extended that makes life better. It just
Yeah.
does. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like to have somebody in, and that's not everybody's story. Some people have high expectations. You need to be who you were when I met you, and da da da. You know what I'm saying? That's not friendship. That's not care. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and even emotionally, mentally, we're not the people
Mhm.
we were when we were,
Yeah.
21 years ago.
Yeah.
And you want your friend, you want your partner to grow. You want them
Yes,
to improve and become better. You
with
don't
you.
want to hold them back. So the
Yeah,
opportunity to grow with someone is a
yeah,
beautiful thing.
it
How do
is.
you how do you stop from growing apart or growing separately? I hear a lot of couples talking about
Yeah.
they grow apart or they grow separately. I mean, I don't see that in your relationship. I see that you all allowed each other to grow and that you've walked with each other through those stages. So how do you keep that part, I guess,
Yeah.
consistent?
Well, it goes back to a little bit we said earlier. If people be honest when they say they grow apart, typically you grow towards, I mean, like a plant grows towards its source. Typically it grows towards that
Mhm.
which is sustaining them or what have you. And oftentimes people in marriage have different goals. They stop having the same goals and expectations, and so they grow apart because I want to be this person, or I want to do this thing, whether it's beneficial for our family or not. I want to do this
At any
at
cost.
any cost, and then you want to do this. When we say grow apart, what we mean is there's typically areas where it's almost like they become priority, and when
Yes.
when anything is priority outside of God, and then secondarily your marriage, you're always going to go in different directions. We maybe make it more political, or we try to make it
Hmm.
sound better, but our goal in marriage, where it was to honor God and to have this union be a representative of Christ and his church, to be a lasting covenant, it changed. And what I want she doesn't want, and she wants, I don't want. And so now it becomes, it's just that's really what it for us when we how we grow together. One, it tells us to cleave. Therefore, man leaves his mother and father and cleaves to his wife or joins to his wife. That means an everyday pursuit, every day I have to attempt to connect, because naturally everything in life is designed to pull you apart.
Yeah.
Your children, they're not trying to pull you apart, but your children want to grow between you, like just because their needs, and
they want to nurture, and they want to,
you know, work. You don't work the exact same job. There are things, life, everything, political opinions, so many things in life, how we see the world, and these things, we have different opinions on things in life, right?
We do.
But those opinions are not, they don't, that's not our goal, and that's not our aim. So because our views on things are different, because they're not our main thing, that's what's leading us, it doesn't lead us away. It just becomes a difference of opinion, and we work through it, we talk about it, but it's not our thing. Some people, like we have, you know, I know people who have extremely different political views. I'll say extremely. We may have some different
views,
religious views.
Yeah.
And that becomes their God. And that becomes their aim in life. Like everything in life is about this agenda. So naturally it's going to take you in a different direction. So
yeah, that and the things in between us. I think we talk about that a lot too.
Yeah.
There are always things that want to be in between us. And we are daily responsible to pluck those things out of the middle of us and stay connected, right? I mean, anything, even phones, like stuff like that, like just being distracted, disconnected, they can always just come right. It's like weeds, like they grow
up in between.
We don't die, we multiply. We trying to get in here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, we're gonna put them gardening. We're gonna put the gloves on. We're gonna yank them up. We're gonna spray some whatever you got to spray on the stuff to kill them. We're not letting stuff stay in between us. But not everybody has that resolve. Not everybody understands that while you're mindless and just on the hamster wheel, you may not be paying attention to the things that are creeping up between you, where your hearts are directing you. And so if you're not literally constantly looking at each other, we still good? Are we still on the same page? Do you have your needs changed? Like all these different things. And then planning out big shifts. I made a big shift some years ago and going back to school. As a grown woman with all these kids, with a full-time job in the ministry and a husband and all the things. And I knew that before I tried to do something massive like that, I couldn't do it if he wasn't on board. Financially, like cooking food, doing all the stuff. Now he's an active father and parent, so he's doing those things anyway. However, it takes a different level of commitment, just period, to take on an endeavor like that. Babe, is it okay? I really feel like this is what I want to do. I think it will be beneficial to our family in this way. It'll help me move forward even in this kind of arena. Like, and so it's like, yes, we're doing it. I don't get to just come say, I'm doing this and you know what I'm saying? People get off. They feel entitled, but in marriage, there is no entitlement without agreement. Like I can't just be in your thing. We got to be on the same page consistently, you know? And so those things are so important. They really are.
Keeping pride, like you said, what keeps us, pride has to stay out. Selfishness has to stay out. Selfish is selfish ambition or just selfishness spirit. Like those are often the things that come between us. It just pride, selfishness. When you deal constantly with your own pride and jealousy and those things, I think staying before God for your own issues,
yes, Lord,
will help keep things from between you, because most of the things between us are our issues, and then we just project them onto our spouse.
Yes,
like I have to keep that like, oh, I need more time. Like she's in class, and now I got to pick up this, and I don't feel like it. Oh, well, wait a minute, that's selfish. She's trying to do something so she family grow, and I'm mad that I got to wait an extra half an hour for a kid to come out of practice or something. Like that's selfish, you know. And so those things have to be constantly plucked up and dealt with, and like you said, using that to get those weeds in between, pull them up,
kill them,
kill them, right? You know, and those things help us to stay
on the
growing
same page,
together. You know,
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, I say it's almost like a thing as far as even with us, like, you know what I'm saying? I always say, you know, intimacy comes in many forms.
Mhm.
So, you know, the thing about it is that it's just intimate time. She likes to see me get on my game. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So she likes to see me get on Grand Theft Auto and just commit all kind of crimes. Now imagine that. Now a guy that sits up there and he's you know, in law enforcement protective services, and he's on a game just creating chaos and mayhem. But you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you know, intimate times goes just beyond, you know, us kissing and hugging on each other and everything like that. You know, it's just like even when I get home, I always try to detach. First thing I do is I take my watch, my notifier off. I take that off, put it on the charge. Matter of fact, my phone's be on the other side of the room or whatever like that. And it's just like I really try to detach. You know, because I've been looking like, look, all day I've been probably on them to keep me busy and to know what's going on and everything like that. You know, we're always learning or whatever like that. But also at the time when you get home, it's also time to learn your spouse. So, you know, it's the
Yeah.
thing that, you know, also, you know, even with, you know, it's just like you say, dinner and everything like that, you know, sometimes, you know, we'll hit each other. Hey, have you ate? You know what I'm saying? What you got in mind? You know, it's always a thing that, you know, one is always constantly thinking ahead and, you know, just mainly just like, you know, hey, you know, we're in this together, you know,
Yeah.
also like the pandemic. I always say the pandemic tested a lot of
Everything.
marriages. Let me tell you
Everything.
something. I would say probably around 10 to 15 couples that I know were like, hey, you know what, it's over for this buddy. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, often when you don't have that good foundation as far as marriage, you know what I'm saying? If you got an arrangement, you know what I'm saying, it
Yeah.
could
You
end
got
up
to
turning
make a
into an
move.
arraignment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, if y'all ain't if y'all ain't got the right foundation, you know, it's like, hey, you know what? Say you went before God to say your vows, now you're going before the judge trying to make a plea. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so you know what I'm saying? So, you know, so it's always a thing that, you know, it's always good to have that, hey, you know what? Even, you know, like even when you're in conflict, even when you're because like you say, conflict is going to come. But you know what I'm saying, that's how we resolve it, you know. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Are you arguing to be right or are you just debating to be
Mhm.
like, hey, you know what? Can we kind of ease back on this? And it's okay to like, you know what? I'm not in the right space to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that we should, you know what, you know, I can't, you know, I'm operating in myself right now. I'm in my feelings. So therefore I can't bring up a viable solution to our problem. And you know what I'm saying? It's okay to be like, you know what? I need to step away for a second. I need my space. Let me go ahead and let me get myself together and come back.
Absolutely. I believe in that too.
You know, it's just like, nah, you want to keep going, you want to keep going. All right, then let's keep going then. No, no.
I don't want that smoke.
Not at all. Not at all. I always say that what they say, cooler heads always prevail. I'm looking like, look, go ahead and put some water on your face. Go take a cold shower. Go do whatever it is you got to go do in
Yeah.
order to keep the peace in the house. You know, it's always a thing that, you would always hear people say, happy life, happy wife, or happy husband. I don't know where around with that, but you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But happy spouse, happy house. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Yeah.
it's just like you know what I'm saying? Because when you two are getting along, everybody in the house is good. You know what I'm saying?
It slows
It's
down.
just like
Right.
yeah, exactly. When one person is happy, usually everybody else is kind of miserable. You know what I'm saying? It's just like one person be happy. I think things are going good, and everybody else in the house like thinking about committing mutiny. They looking like, yeah, it's going good as soon as we get you out of here. You know what I'm saying? But you know, make her walk the plank or make him walk the plank or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, but yeah, but you know, it's just like y'all said, that just to going to get ice cream, you know, friendship has intimacy as well.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like those
And it
intimate moments,
takes
like,
so
man,
many
this mug is
different
good,
forms.
man. Let me tell you something. We had to
Yeah.
get the smelling. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so you know that you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, look, I mean, like, even with us being in the whole blended family, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, trust me, we always sit up here and we like, all right, if we know for a fact something that we got, we're like, oh man, you know what? These kids going something. And guess what? Ours is pretty much grown.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? The two younger ones, you know what I'm saying? They're money driven, so you know all I gotta do is send them a little cash app. They're good. You know what I'm saying? But these older ones, they be like, oh no, you know, we you want some of that? Like, what you got there? You know, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Do this. Hey, you know, would you mind? Like, you know what?
Them extra.
Even though I'm like, and just give you guys a heads up, when they leave home, they never leave
They
home.
never leave home.
You know what I'm saying? I got one sitting right here next to me right now.
So you know, we have between us, we have five. When I married James, I had Jordan, and when I married James, James had four kids biologically. But because this is James' second marriage, he also has two stepkids. So altogether, we have seven. So, and most of them are grown. Most of them are adults, and we even have grandkids.
Yeah,
But they come home,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes they come home and live with you.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing is that I knew most of them from early teenage years, and you know, we walked through high school and we walked through proms and graduations and all of that. So that was so cool, getting to know them and getting to understand them. Jordan fits right in with the rest of them. You couldn't tell them apart if you didn't already know.
Yeah.
They actually look alike. It's weird. It's really weird.
I did notice that. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm so thankful, and I laugh because she from pretty much initially when she met James, she would call him James, or she would call him Jamez. She had a nickname for him. And then once we got married, or just before we got married, he became Pop. Mm-hmm. And he's been Pop ever since.
Yes.
And she literally, this is her father. Mm-hmm. You know, he walks with her and he talks with her. He gives her instruction. He helps her. They talk on the phone. Sometimes they laughing and giggling. I'm like, hey, what y'all talk about? You know, and I do the same with my sons. I'm so thankful that our oldest James the fourth is home. He came back from the military and he's on leave for a while, so he's over there. But he's been home with us. He's been home. And you know, I recently had surgery and he's been home and he's been helping and he's been cooking meals and, you know, doing things for us. And so it's been a blessing, you know, just to have your village and to have even your kids just take care of you, you know, and flip that script for a moment. Because in moments when I couldn't do, they've been here and they've supported and they've helped. You know, and I love it because we used to have game nights because all the boys love to play video games, and so does Joe. So we would all get together when we first got married, and even before we got married, and we would have video game tournaments, and they would fight on the computer and, you know, on the game consoles, and whoever would win, they would play King of the Hill and all that kind of stuff.
Arguing
and fuss and fight like siblings do. But it was fun.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and they love each other and they respect each other. And like I said, that in some moments you can't tell who's who. Mm-hmm. And I think that is so much fun. It is so, I appreciate that so much because I've always wanted a big family. Yeah. You know, we're blended, and I always wanted a big family, and I love it. Yes. It's a beautiful, wonderful experience and so much fun. And look, watching you guys with your three just encourages me with these, and I'm like, okay, let's do stuff, let's go places.
But it'd be reminiscent too. I remember when they were that age.
Yes.
Yes. The fun thing is,
like then it'd be like, oh my God bless them. God bless them.
I know. Yeah. Pray for us.
You know what? You know what?
You know what it is.
I mean, like heck, when we met, my beard was black. So you know.
Yep.
I mean, like, yo, it was cold black. I mean, like, look, I think I had.
I got enough.
I think I had 3 strands of gray hair. You know what I'm saying?
When we met, he didn't have a beard. He had a goatee.
Listen.
Had a beard. It just wasn't luxurious as it is now.
Children is a real thing, okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just a thing.
You know what I'm saying?
And glasses.
You know what I'm saying? Plus the wife, you know what I'm saying? The wife put a few gray hairs up in there.
We do that sometimes.
So you know.
I gave you seasoning.
That's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Salt and pepper is always great seasoning. It's sage seasoning, you know what I'm saying? That's battle test.
It would be bland without us, honey.
Exactly. Definitely. Be seasoned with chicken, definitely. You know. But you know, it's always that thing that, you know, you really realize in pressure who your spouse, who is your friendship, you know what I'm saying, who your friendship and where your help really comes from. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know what I'm saying, it's just like, you know, it's just like she was saying, as far as the as far as like when one is down, we all got a pull and everything like that. I'm looking like, look, when she went down for her surgery, I said, look, I got us. I said, I got us. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. You know what I'm saying? And she was just like, well, you know, I'm like, that
Mhm. What don't you worry me?
exactly.
But it's hard to do that, especially because, you know, I've been a very independent person for a long time. I've been one. And then
Same thing, me.
he had been one after, you know, his first marriage. And it was like when we got married, I had to tell him, hey, we a partnership. Let me help.
I'm looking
You don't
like,
have to carry everything by yourself. You don't have to do everything by yourself. You can trust me. Come
Yeah.
on, let me show you that you can trust me. So I kind of had to slow walk him through giving me certain responsibilities and letting go of certain things so that he wouldn't have to carry everything. And so all the weight wasn't on him. I mean, you got these big old arms, but you know, I'm here. So so
Yeah,
I
and it goes in the other way too. You
yeah,
learning like, what does it look like for me to let this man help me in
yeah,
my seasons
yep.
of need? Like it's real. And I think the other thing that's interesting when you get married at a different season of life, you know, you have these kind of deeply entrenched ways of being, right? And you find yourself being like, oh, this is different. Like this is different. But I think also for some people who are married, they have heavy streaks of being independent people based on where they come from. I know for you, that's a very big thing, you know, moving out early and just being that guy, you know what I mean?
Moving out early, boy.
And
Woo.
so, yeah, and so you're trying to figure out like, man, what does actually having help look like in real life and allowing it to
yeah,
actually be there? Because the thing about two being better than one, right, is that there are things that he's so strong at. There are things that I'm strong at, but there are things I'm so weak at. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And it's like God puts Dina and James together because the deficiencies in one will be supported by the sufficiency in the other. And it's important to know that we get this benefit of pooling together our strengths and weaknesses and divvying them out and being like, okay, well, look, this ain't really, this ain't what we needed. So we gonna substitute that in with something that you have. You know what I'm saying? We get the
right.
blessing and the benefit of like pooling all these skills and abilities and things together. That's just beautiful. And it's a joy for us to get to see that, you know, with you all bringing your lives together and just building. Like it's really cool. And it's good to know my sister's taken care of because baby,
That's right.
okay. All
That's
right.
right. Look, I love y'all. We are 53 minutes into this chat, and I know we got a whole lot more that we could chat about. But I do want to thank you for your time. And I also want to remind everybody that the Lioness Den is sponsoring an event called Life Happens on October 21st. It's going to be at the Connect Church of Baltimore at 1918 Collington Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21213. And I just want to remind everybody that that is coming up. I want to remind everybody that these are the Taylors. They are the pastor and first lady of the Outlet Church, which is located at 6669 Security Boulevard in Woodlawn. And they do also do a host of Marriage Happens. I'm sorry, Marriage 101, which is awesome. It happens every other month. It is on a Friday evening. It could be a date night situation if you don't have one. There is food,
August
there's
11th is
childcare.
coming up.
August the what?
11th.
August the 11th is coming up. It's the next one. Come out and join us if you have an opportunity, if you want to add some spice to your marriage, if you are in a committed relationship, engaged, or happily married or unhappily. They got some word for you, some wisdom for you.
Happily, don't come in there.
Put a little seasoning on it.
Yeah.
If you're unmarried, don't come in there fighting.
So guys,
The law is on site.
you know what? Yes, the law is on.
Out.
Oh my goodness, y'all are too much. I love this. I love this. You have any last words, guys, for our audience? About family, about marriage, anything.
Yeah, just it's not cliche to say keep God first.
No.
Because when God is first, he leads you. That means your feelings don't lead you. That means your pride doesn't lead you. Your emotions
Amen.
don't. Society doesn't lead you. God leads you. And when God leads you, he leads you in the paths of righteousness. He leads you to the place of pasture where your marriage, your family can have rest and enjoy and have the things it needs. Because all of those other paths, they always have their end goal is never as rich as what God provides. So keeping God first in your marriage and just every day choosing each other, like prioritize. If you heard nothing else, just seek to prioritize your life, God first, your marriage, and then from there loving your children and jobs and all the other things come after that.
I would say just keep collecting your tools.
Yes,
you
yes.
know, we add tools to the tool belt because when a situation come up and you got to look in that box and be like, "Ooh, do we have what we need? What we need over here?" So, working on communication, pursuing peace, learning the things that are necessary for resolving conflict, having regular, normal expectations of each other and not these, building the skills that you need to actually improve your life personally and your marriage will always be beneficial because the tools that we build in marriage often apply everywhere else. If you have good communication in your marriage, you probably have good communication with everybody else. So it's important to keep collecting and working on those tools that God provides to us. And we learn about them in his word. We learn about love in 1 Corinthians 13. We learn about just the gifts of the Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit. We learn about all these things that are necessary to build a healthy marriage. So just keep collecting your tools. I promise you're going to need it one day. It is better to have it than to have to run out and find it. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. Thank you so much for taking time out with us this morning. We appreciate you. We love you. This is the Connors, James and Dina, and the Taylors, Andre and Tracy. This has been the Lioness's Den. And next week on our show, you're going to meet the Robinsons. I'm excited about that. You're going to meet another family as we continue to celebrate Family Month. So thank you all so much for your time. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And we'll see you next week on the Lioness Den. Take care.
Let's go. I don't know what you're going through, but we stopped by to tell you that what's in front of you is bigger than what's behind you. Your destiny, your promise, your future. You might as well shout before you get it, because God sent me here to tell you that what he has for you is gonna be big. I believe that it's my season. That it's my season. You ought to declare that over your own life. Say, I believe. I believe. That it's my time. That it's my time. It's my time.